Hi, welcome to Blade and Brush, everyone. I'm Mike, your wet shaver, back with another video and a bit of bad news, actually, because if you're into the wet shaving community, as I've been for the past 9 years, you've probably hit a lot of the old internet discussion forums, especially the shave forums, and I discovered last week or the week before that the Shave Den, a highly popular shaving forum, is closed down. The owners, unfortunately, could not afford to maintain it, and it became too much work for them to do anyway. So, it happens. I'm pretty bummed about it, but, I understand. It's like when you start something like this, it starts off as a hobby, and then before you know it, it becomes a job, and one that doesn't really do anything but suck up money. And if you're on a limited income and there's no donations or sales coming in, if you've got a small business trying to keep it, it's just, no, it's not tenable for the long run. So that's pretty much it for my participation on shaving forums, unless something comes along that's along the lines of the Shave Den, because there's Badger and Blade, but they're ban happy. I mean, they'll ban you for posting a YouTube video and without warning. So it's like you can't even really discuss anything without risking getting banned, and they don't really even give you any heads up as far as like if you've violated some obscure rule that they didn't bother to tell you about. So yeah, it's end of an era. So anyway, as you can see from the thumbnail, we're shaving with Xella Italian Shave Cream. This is a tiny bowl, but surprisingly powerful stuff. So this is the almond flavor, or almond scent. Almond flavor, what am I talking about? So yeah, this is the almond scent profile. As you can see, I've used a couple of scoops of it already. Today's the second shave with it. I tried it out on Monday because I didn't want to just review it with my aunt home, because she worked from home yesterday, and then she was home on Monday for Martin Luther King Day. Let me get started filling my scuttle and bowl, because it's taking way too long and I don't have all that much time, because I start work at noon today. All right, so I'm using the pre-shave gel. I found out a little bit goes a long way. Because you can see this tiny little hole where it squeezes out, but being a gel, it is surprisingly easy to get out too much. Yeah, so I've already scooped out a little bit into my shave bowl. It is a bit of a harder shave cream. Because if you get something like Taylor of Old Bond Street, it'll start off like really soft and fluffy, and then as the air hits it, as you empty the bowl, it'll become hard. And then you have to kind of like give it a good soaking in a bit of water prior to shaving, just to soften it up. Well, Xella, the consistency I've noticed is kind of like Taylor of Old Bond Street that's been dried out a little bit. And it starts off that way. So I went ahead and took about a small almond-sized scoop of it with my little shave scoop, and soaked it in water while I was in the shower, so should be interesting. Oh yeah, shaved and gone, end of an era. If I had the money, I'd start my own shave forum, but I don't, so. Yeah, a lot of first-time wet shavers discover Badger and Blade and then quickly discover that it is not at all conducive to actually posting there. So they find other shave forums. But with the shaved end, that was my favorite. So. It had a heck of a community too. And unfortunately, I was not able to maintain any connections off the forum with the members here, so yeah, I've been holding off on using this on the channel because I don't have all that much to use here that hasn't already been featured. I just love the almond scent on here. Almond scented shave creams are a favorite of mine, although I don't get to use them very often. Taylor of Old Bond Street almond soap was the very first shave cream that I used when I started my wet shaving journey. And I should probably get a tub of that again because it's been quite literally 8 years since I got it. Oh, maybe 9 years actually. In the meantime, I've got Chella. I'm using my Kavim safety razor because the blade still has some life in it. Yeah, it's on week 2. Next week I'll start a razor I haven't used on the channel before. Yeah, 3 things really make me like this razor. First, and in my mind foremost, is the efficiency on it. For its weight class, like I said, it is surprisingly efficient. And at the end of the day, in my mind, Efficiency is what matters above material, weight, blade gap. Because not only do I get a BBS shave with this, I get practically no irritation and no nicks or cuts. And then the second selling point is a unique head design. Because there's no overhang, there's no danger of the, because usually when you get a safety razor, there's a blade overhang. I mean, it's not like the cutting edges of the razor blades, but they can still be fairly sharp and cut you if you happen to drop it and you're trying to grab it by the sides to avoid handling the blade side. So the Kavim really did something ingenious here by bending the ends of the base plate upward to completely cover the edges of the blade. Or the wing flaps, I should say. And with the RazoRock Goat and some of the Phoenix razors, that whole overhang is taken care of by simply lengthening the cap and base plate so that they completely cover it. But that still leaves some kind of opening. Though this one, it's kind of like an added bit of security for keeping the blade snug in its place and properly aligned. So that's a very ingenious design. So that's point number 2. And then obviously point number 3 is a price point, because prices I've seen on Amazon and other places vary, but I've seen it range from anywhere from like $8 to $20. And plus it comes with a 5-count tuck of blades, which you don't see very much. A lot of razor companies, if they give you any blades at all, it's usually one blade, and then you have to buy a whole tuck if you want more of that. I think only Parker, Vanderhagen, and in some cases Mercure give you a whole tuck of blades. So if you think about it, anywhere from like $10 to $20 range on this razor, plus you get a whole 5-count tuck of blades. Man, that is just unbeatable. It's a kind of razor, much like the Vanderhagen, that if it gets lost or stolen or whatever when you're out on the road, it's priced affordably enough that you can easily replace it if you have to. And that's likewise with the Kavim razor. Although I'm not sure I would want to take it on the road with me, because, inexpensive or no, I don't like to lose razors, And my aunt's dog is outside the bathroom door. Yeah, the wind's got her scared. We've got like Arctic temperatures here today and yesterday and Monday night. I think the temperature yesterday and Monday was down to like 3 or 4 degrees Fahrenheit. With wind chills of like minus 14 or 15. It's a little warmer today apparently, but the wind out there is really howling. I can hear it. I don't know if you can, but I can certainly hear the wind out there. And my aunt's dog is terrified of the wind. Yeah, this Cella soap, like most Italian shave products, very slick. And the almond scent is pleasing without being overpowering. Okay, for some reason, platinum coated blades work really well for me. I've yet to use one that in a medium to mild razor gave me any issues with irritation or nicks. I mean, early on, I used to get nicked all the time, regardless of what blade I used, because I hadn't refined my technique yet. But as I've gotten better over the years, and that hasn't become as much of an issue unless the blade and razor combination are too rough. This is why I'm not a fan of the Parker blades that come with the Parker razor. Because they're nice and sharp, don't get me wrong, they're decent enough blades, but because the Parker razors are so aggressive, that means that the blades that you load into them will be more aggressive because more of the blade edge is exposed. Parker razors do tend to have a wider blade gap. Yeah, so the other day, I had to go up and get my blood pressure medication refilled. And while I was there, I went ahead and got my RSV vaccination. Because those viruses are getting pretty bad out there. And you want to make sure to protect yourself. Because the older you get, the less your body is able to handle infections. Not that it was ever really able to handle them. I've certainly had my share, and it really messed me up. Bronchitis, pneumonia, sinus infections, ear infections. I don't think people realize just how badly viruses and parasites and bacteria can mess you up, even with your immune system. Because you'll get anti-vaxxers who will try and say, "Oh, you need to get sick so you can build up your immunity because it's like a muscle." It's no, the immune system is not like a muscle. Okay, the immune system is like a very poorly designed and badly programmed security system. Very easily fooled. Unless you give it something to recognize, and even then, something like measles can come along and completely wipe out your immune memory. Which means any immunity that you built up to anything from prior infections or vaccinations, gone. All of a sudden, you can get stuff that your body had previously been able to fight off from prior exposure. And then you end up wondering what the hell happened. Well, it's because you didn't take proper precautions. You didn't get vaccinated. You went into virus-laden areas without a mask. Properly worn N95 respirator, much like a prophylactic, works best when you use it properly. If you don't use it properly, then obviously, it's not going to work. I've seen people during the first years of the pandemic wearing their baggy blue surgicals, which aren't all that great, down below their mouths. It's like, dude, are you serious? It's like if you're not covering both mouth and nose, then obviously it's not going to work. Because you're not wearing the mask. Oy. And this is how narratives get formed. But yeah, that RSV shot really did a number on my left arm, so it's still sore after a couple of days. And then a few weeks ago, I pulled something in my right upper arm, and that really is not getting better. So my next doctor's appointment is next month. If it's not better by then, I'll get it looked at. Might be something with my rotator cuff. At any rate, my right arm is somewhat diminished because I can't really move it much without it feeling like I've pulled something, and then now my left upper arm is sore, although that should fade. That's really the only effect I've ever had from vaccinations is a sore arm for a couple of days. So I'm kind of lucky in that respect. Just rinsing out my brush. So you don't want to leave soap in your brush, especially if it's a natural hair bristle like boar, badger, horsehair. You really don't want to leave soap in there because that'll eventually eat away at it. But yeah, this is my sterling boar knot. Okay, now I've got my Xela aftershave lotion. This one has a bit of a cedar citrus scent. It's kind of weird because you would think, okay, Xela almond, you know, would have companion scents, but no, I mean, I guess they decide, you know, I just want a different scent profile. Personally, I like smelling like almonds. It's a nice clean scent. But cedar will do. Alright, now we've got the post-shave balm. Help restore the moisture to my face. Yeah, as you can see, the opening is likewise very small. And as you can see, you don't need a whole lot. Just enough to put some moisture back on your skin. Because you do exfoliate every time you shave. So removing dead skin cells, but also the natural oils in your skin. So you always want to make sure to rehydrate it. So, alright, so yeah, this has been the Convene Safety Razor with the Superior Platinum blade that comes with it. And of course, Xela Italian Shave Cream, almond scented, along with the companion products. Alright, so yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have any alternative shaving forums besides Badger and Blade, because I really don't want to have to try and go back there, because it just is not a very welcoming or friendly place. So if you happen to know an alternative shaving forum that's like the Shave Den, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a video. Until next time, this is Mike for Blade and Brush, signing off.